Once upon a time, I had a nightmare. And this nightmare was so vivid that I had to make sure that it wasn't real. Now, I had this dream about a week after the attempted armed robbery that happened to me at Blockbuster. And this dream takes place in a town called Avenger, Texas, where my grandmother lives. Now, it started off as me, my mother, and my sister Crystal were riding home to Dallas, back from Avenger. And then on the way there, we stopped at this gas station. Now, while Mom was outside getting the gas, I was in the front seat talking to Crystal while she was in the back seat. And as we're talking, I noticed that there was like this homeless man, this bum, that was harassing all of these people, basically trying to harass them to get some spare change from them. So since he didn't come in our direction, we didn't pay it any mind. And then after Mom was finished getting the gas, she was going into the gas station so she can pay for it, and then we can be on our way. But before she could get into the gas station, here was the hobo. He was harassing her too. And he was like saying, "Hey ma'am, you're gonna need to pay me for that gas." And she was like, "I'm not paying you for the gas." He said, "Well, I'm the owner of this gas station, so you're gonna need to pay me to get inside this gas station here so you can pay for your gas." And she was saying, "I am not paying you." And this argument went on for about a good 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then finally my mother was just frustrated, so she just gave him $5 just to get out of her face. And he got the $5 and was like, "Okay, man, thank you very much," and he just like walks off. So as Mom was getting the gas, as Mom was like paying for the gas, I was still in the car talking with Crystal, and then thinking that she was going to probably be a while, I got out of the front seat and then get into the back seat so I can talk with Crystal. And I left the front door open for some odd reason, and while I was talking to Crystal, I saw this hobo go into the front seat where I was sitting, go into the glove box, and pull out my mother's gun. And without a second thought, I saw this guy do this, and so I go into my backpack that was also in the back seat with me, pull out a gun that my father gave me, and I got out the car, and I pointed at the guy. So I got out the car, pointed the gun at the guy, and say, "Put down the gun! Put down the gun!" The guy was like, kind of just alluding. He was like, "Oh, I got a gun. I got a gun. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you." And I was like, still, "Put down the gun! Put down the gun!" And then finally the guy like just puts down the gun. And my mother comes out the gas station, sees me pull the gun on the guy. And she was like, "Kenny, what are you doing?" And the first thing that came to my mind was, "Give my mom back her money! Give my mom back her money!" The guy was like, "I don't want to give her back her money." I said, "Give her back her money!" And then finally the guy gives back her money. And then I really didn't know what to do after that. So the only other thing that came to mind was, "Give everybody back the money! Give everybody back the money!" And for some odd reason, I started hearing this theme music in the background. So I was over here with the gun in my hand, with the theme music playing, and I was getting all hysterical. And then Crystal was like, "Kenny, what are you doing? What's wrong with you?" And then I just was like, giving a speech and crying at the same time. "This guy is not gonna harass anybody ever again. As long as I live, he's not gonna harass anybody ever again." And you just hear this music in the background. Dun, 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 dun. Then here I'm over here like being all hysterical. "Oh my God, no, he's not gonna harass anybody again. Hey, you go away, get away. Never let us see her again. Never let us see her again." And the guy was like, "Oh, okay," and then he just walks off. While this music was still playing, I was like still into this whole heroic type of speech where I was like still, "Oh my God, and I'll be a hero for everybody in the world. I'm gonna secure the world. People like this man." And while it was still going, this guy finds another gun on the edge of the road. So he gets the gun, and then he comes back and like, "I got another gun. I got another gun." And I pulled the gun back on him. I said, "Put the gun down! Put the gun down!" And he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you this time. I'm gonna shoot you." And then I like jerked my hand so much, "Put down the..." And I shot this guy right here in the forehead. And what really freaked me out about it, not only the fact that I just shot a guy, but he did one of those dramatic deaths. And on the way down, he just looked at me like as if to say, "I can't believe you just shot me." So then he just did one of those dramatic deaths where he falls to his knees like this. And it freaked me out so much. So the first thing, so as soon as that happened, I woke up. And I called my mother up. And I was asking her, "Mom, are you alright? You okay?" She was like, "I'm fine. What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Nothing. I'm just double checking." And then I called Crystal up, and Crystal is more concerned over me than anybody else. So she was like, "Kenny, are you okay? What's going on? What's happening?" I said, "Nothing. I just had a bad dream. I just want to make sure that you're okay." So after I told my mom and Crystal the dream that I had, the response was not exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting them to be kind of like analyze and kind of think about it with me or whatever, but instead, my mother, when I told her about it, the only thing she can say is, "I can't believe I paid the guy." And Crystal, she said, "Why does everything you have to do have to have theme music to it?" Honestly, I really don't know. But luckily, like I said before, it was only a dream, and I don't understand why I'm still remembering it to this day. But I'm glad that it was not real and nobody got hurt.